Well, I began using drugs at the age of 17 years old, and my lifestyle was revolved around drugs and prison. And I just got very tired of living the life. I started realizing that things weren't getting better, they were getting worse. I finally realized that I was getting older. I also realized that I was having a lot of guilt because I was separated from my family and children. And that's when I became aware of all this stuff in 2016, is when I finally decided that I was ready to do what I had to do. Prior coming to the mission, I was desperate. I was living on the streets. I was addicted to methamphetamine. I had an addiction for about 30 years. And when I finally surrendered, my journey began at the Crossroads Mission. And I'm so very grateful for everything that the mission has done for me today. I knew about the mission just by word. I had been there once before back in 1998, but for me I wasn't ready to commit at that time. And back in 2016 is when I finally decided to begin my journey at the Crossroads Mission. My experience was very humbling. I was able to help others in need, and I was also able to gain skills that I didn't know, such as serving. That's where I feel that the Crossroads Mission really helped me in a way where I was able to serve while I was in there in the program by working in the kitchen. Also, I started to learn responsibility because I had chores to do. I learned about programming because I had to go to programs throughout the day. My children know that is where my journey began. They would go visit me at the mission, and they know that the mission has a big part of my recovery. I would describe it as a place where you are going to learn experience if you're ready. You're going to learn skills that you didn't know before, skills such as serving others and building yourself up. I've always known about God. My mother raised me in the church, and I was very grateful. That was one of the things I was very grateful for, that at the Crossroads Mission, the first thing we had to do getting up in the morning was devotions. And for me, that was very important because it kind of took me back from the very beginning. My spiritual life today is founded on the rock, who is Jesus Christ. And I'm very grateful that the Crossroads Mission practices this today. I have accomplished so many goals. I have been working since I've left the mission. I have constantly been working, never stopped. I've also learned to continue with my spiritual life with God, and I've learned to remain humble and to give back. The most important thing that I would say that I learned at the mission was to give back, to be humble and give back. I learned at the mission that I had a compassion to help others just by working in the kitchen. Although I was there working on myself, I had to work in the kitchen, and I learned that I have a compassionate heart towards people, and that just made me want to continue in the area where I'm working at now, and that's helping others. My life is different today because I am still clean and sober. I'm going on 6 years. I've been at the same job for 3 years, which is something that I couldn't keep a job for a couple of weeks. So my life has changed significantly, and it's all because of my journey where it began at the Crossroads Mission. If you have, donate. There are so many people out there that are in need of things, and every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. The Crossroads Mission has a big part of helping my place of my employer, and everything helps. Everything helps. Give. Whatever you don't want, give to the Crossroads Mission, because it's going back and you will be blessed. For the person that's out there struggling right now, if you have to go through the Crossroads Mission, I would say don't give up. No matter, do what you got to do. Just how we were out there fighting to stay in our addiction, fight for your recovery. It's going to be rough, but do what you got to do and don't give up. Hi, my name is Isabel. I am a Crossroads Mission graduate. I graduated in May 2017 from the New Way program.